The first time I knew that, I want to fly airplanes, I was actually 15. My parents, for my birthday, got me a discovery flight up here at the local airport, 5 minutes away from my house. Went up there and talked to the CFI. He took me up in a Cessna 172, let me fly the controls and everything, and I talked to my parents and I was like, this is what I want to do, but just for my whole life. I didn't know you could do this. That's pretty much when I started down my path of trying to become a pilot. Becoming a pilot was a difficult road, but it was well worth it. I started in high school. After that discovery flight my parents paid for at 15, I tried to find ways to go, ways to become a pilot. And most everywhere on the internet was saying, hey, go to college. Of course, college is really expensive, and I'm a young 16-year-old who can't stand the idea of going back to school. So I go to my parents and say, hey, I want to go into the Army. My dad compromised with me and said, go to the Army National Guard. I actually enlisted as a military intelligence systems integrator maintainer, which is a very long title for basically IT guy for all military intelligence systems. In 2011, I get deployed to Afghanistan, which is perfect. There's a career advisor there, and he says, you really should start working on your education. Did you know, since your passion is flying, that there's an online school that you get paid for while you're here, and it's called Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University? And I said, no, I didn't even know there was an aeronautical university. That's really awesome. So I looked into it and started taking classes. I get back from my deployment, I start going to Embry-Riddle at Daytona Beach. Started doing that, came into Embry-Riddle. In my first semester, I was accepted into the JetBlue Gateway Program. And then in the very next semester, I was interning for Delta.
Are we going to go on a real flight together, just me and you?
So when I did my internship with Delta, it was a total fluke event. I get an interview. I basically talked about my military experience and why I want to do aviation. And at this point, I maybe have 20, 30 hours of flight time under my belt. So I just began flying, and I come to find out that I was the least experienced person that they had ever hired. My local college, Polk State College, they started an aeronautical program about the same semester that I was going to get done with my internship. So I called up the program director and said, hey, this is my situation, what can we do? And they said, oh, if you have any sort of military benefit, education benefits, it'll pay for all of it. I was there for 2 years, and I have a professional flying gig. I flew for Cape Air, which is another regional, flying down in San Juan. Flew there for about 8 months, and then now I'm flying for ExpressJet. Hopefully in 20 years, I'm a chief pilot. I'm doing something in management, trying to better the company or make line pilots' lives easier. So what I love most about flying is pretty much the serenity of it. When you get up into the sky, it's just calm. Everything is just tranquil. So for people wanting to get into aviation, the best advice I can give is probably what everybody else says. Go to your local airport. There's tons of pilots there that have been doing this for 30, 40 years who just sit at the airport and all they do is talk aviation. They've got just a ton of experience. If you show interest, they'll take you up in their airplane. They can see passion in your eyes just as much as you see it in theirs.